Hi everybody, it's Diane here with cardboard scraps I've been saving just because, people like us go, ooh, that might make a good tag. I'll save it. And so you put it over next to your pencil mug and it sits there for months. So let's do something with this stuff. This is that thinner corrugation, which actually I like. You don't see that too much. At least I don't. And then this was like a hefty or old file folder, I think. I'm guessing. I don't remember when stuff was quality. Okay, so well, you know what I'm going to do with them, right? You saw it in the title. I decided to make some Halloween tags because of the, cardboardy nature of these. I thought you could do anything. You could do Christmas, like a rustic looking Christmas. But I just thought Halloween, and today is the 27th of September, not October. So yeah, I think I'm just making these for myself. I don't know. If I want to try to sell anything, I'll have to bump it up in my scheduled videos. So I'm picking out stuff, which as I was coming up the stairs with this box, I thought, well, Diane, maybe you should pick out stuff first. You always do this. It's probably not too interesting. But I don't know. It's part of my process. What can I say? Spider fangs. Ew. Okay. I'm gonna start off with that. Ew. And those actual corrugated ones. I did not make a tag shape and I did not punch a hole because I'm not sure what I'm doing with them yet. Not too exciting. So what do you do with Halloween tags? Well, if you give Halloween gifts, those are too big. You can use them as a gift tag. You can just hang them on things in your house for decor is probably what I would do. Well, okay, how about this? That's cute. It's not icky. Why do they do this? Just to make my life more difficult. That's okay. We can put something over that. Or being, a Halloween thing, you can tear it, or schmutz paint over it, or something like that. All right, Diane, would you please cut straight? All right, that's a little big for that. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Anything else on here I can complain about? Well, like, I suppose you could use that or a Merry Halloween, but I don't know. I suppose paper like that could be used as like a book cover, a journal cover, right? Yeah, Diane, stop being negative. No tricks, all treats. How about that? Any card makers out there? Like, I know I made a card out of this one, and I do remember who I sent it to, but a couple times I have actually written it down because, like, the next year I don't want to send the same person the same type of card. It's hard to remember a year later. At least for me, it is. Oh, that's cute. Cute. All right. Okay. Come on, we're causing kind of an avalanche here. I printed it off the internet once and never did anything with it. Yeah, so do you want a prize or something? No. You get a prize for the longest sitting item in your stash that you've never used. I bet a lot of people could qualify for that, right? Okay, how about one of these? No, that one's a little narrower, I think. This paper is old, but as you can see, I've used a lot of it. Okay. Well, all right. Okay, Diane, we get the idea. You're hunting through stuff and finding images. I need 3 more. So I will do that and then come back and we can start adding detail things. Okay, hang on. Okay, we have our images. This is mine, I call it. I just thought that was really cute. So that's definitely for me. Okay, I was thinking, instead of just using paper on the background as I normally do, and I may yet do that, but let's do a little inking or painting. Let's try that. These flat ones, I think might be good for stencils. Let's try this thing. I don't know if you can see it. No, Diane, you can't see it. It's a secret. It's like little lines, little jaggedy lines. Let's try that. And if it doesn't work, oh no, I ruined a scrap piece of cardboard that most people would throw in the garbage anyway, right? This one though, you do have to kind of watch you don't get other stuff. Is it working? Barely. Yeah, that's what, no, I got a little stuff. It's okay though. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Is that enough for this? Which, as I said, I might do paper or something anyway, but yeah, I would say so. Okay, cat. Well, what about this grid thing? You know, I guess just a grid. Try to sort of center it so, because people are going to analyze these tags, I wouldn't want them to look off. You know, that works pretty well. Okay, it's fun. This one I think could take a stencil. Let's try this one. I use this one a lot because I don't. This is about it. I have a film one that doesn't work so great, and I think that's it. Oh, leaf. I have a leaf thing that I don't like so much either. That's good. It looks kind of gothic. Okay, good. Now the ones with the corrugations. What if we apply a little paint? I don't know if that ink is going to come off. May not. And I only brought up a few select colors. I didn't bring up the whole basket. Because there's no room to set the basket. If you really don't like this, I suppose you could probably paint it brown and nobody would know, right? All right, let's go around the edges. I did ink a few edges already, which on this one was a waste of time. Okay. This one, what if we just do black ink? And I think maybe we'll just drag it over and not use the dauber thing. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Well, you could do black on these. Let's try a little orange on that one. Can you see that one? It's so small. That's an old Tim Holtz image. I think it's an old postcard. Now this may be too bright. It's okay. I'm not going to do more than that. Maybe the same on this, just a little bit. Can't really see it on this one. That image is bigger. Okay. I think this one, why don't we incorporate some of that? That one could probably use some black, wouldn't you say? Now, one nice thing about Halloween stuff is the messier, sloppier, see there's fibers sticking out here. It looks intentional and you don't have to be so fussy and perfect about everything. I think that's kind of cool. Okay. Well, I'll run this over the ink pad, but the orange is wet. Okay, I'm going to take a break and let this stuff dry, and then we'll come back and do more detail stuff. Hang on. Okay, folks, I'm back after, I think this is 5 days. I had no intention of being off that long, but poor Diane got a cold. So I've been doing absolutely nothing with this stuff, and I sound a little nasal, and I might have to cough and stuff like that. So I don't know how long I'm going to work here, and I can't find anything to go with this. And that's all I know. Okay, forget that. Maybe one of these turquoisey owls could go on here. Or the brown one is better. Brown is better. Okay, you want to see? I think that turquoise is too light. There's not a lot of black in it, except for his eyeballs. So I think that makes it too light and it doesn't really match. Boy, there's all kinds of birds chirping out there today. Something. Woohoo! We got one little owl. How exciting. Anybody want a treat container or some candy corn? Not today. I just can't give this stuff away, huh? Maybe on here. You like candy corn? I only like the kind that have the chocolate bottoms. Does that surprise anybody? Oh, that might be kind of cute. I'm not going to fussy cut. Not that this is that fussy, but a little bit with those curved ends, corners. And I will say too, considering how long I've been off, and by the time my husband gets around to finishing this video, I don't think I'm going to try to sell any of these this year. It's just too late. That's something. You know, you want to offer $100 for one or something, go ahead. And Diane, are you holding your breath? No. Ghost, anyone? No. This one obviously is small. The images are small and meaning. Well, let's try something with this. That paper is pretty darn old. Yeah, I was looking at a scrapbook paper company online, and they don't have a whole lot of new scrapbook paper. I don't know what's going on. It's the industry changing, doing something. I hope not. Usually Diane has to show restraint and not order stuff, and I didn't really see too much I wanted. And like I said, there was hardly anything new. I don't know. Anybody know something going on I don't know about? I don't think that. Aren't these nice? Well, the illustrations are nice. I guess it's a matter of opinion if you like bats and spiders and stuff. And people that are sight to see. How about I assume this is a raven. On here or here. Maybe that one. It's kind of bright, but it could be a bit of a illusion with all this light color around it. Kind of neat. Kind of neat. Okay, what else is on here that's kind of neat? These pumpkins are cool. Well, I don't know. We'll keep that handy. We have some wordage here. Well, let's see. These already have words. And I'm watching you read is so interesting. I know. Well, to be honest, I don't think there's a word on here that's going to work with these. Okay, well, any of these? How about a spider web on that cat? Yeah. I still don't know if I'm going to make those tags or not. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Then maybe you should go rest or something with your cold. Yeah. Well, I was thinking of doing a voiceover, and if I decide this is really ridiculously lame, maybe I'll still do that. But to be honest, when you're doing a voiceover, you can kind of stumble with, what to say too, because I'm not going to sit there and say, now I'm cutting this out. Now I'm throwing away the scrap. It's sort of like I still don't know what to say. Okay. This one could use some like white paint spatters or something, I think. Let's get on that. The paint's put away. Anything out here? I think those are too big. Well, All Hallows Eve, that's not bad. Maybe that could go on there or there. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of like on that one. Okay. That one, I don't know. Do we still need some background paper? Would probably help. Diane, it's kind of hard to look at this paper one-handed. Yeah, I noticed. Stripes. Yeah, this is actually basketball paper that I have a big use for, right? But no, I bought it because of the stripes. All right. Measure once. Cut 14 times, right? I don't think that's how that goes then. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. And cat faces. No, I don't think so. Maybe I did get my bat punch. And this matches nicely with that. I don't think I want the scallop because it's too similar. Yeah, this one, now I don't remember if I didn't cut it well or it was the kind of the edge of the page anyway. There's not a lot of white showing right there that should be. So I don't know, I could put a little paint there. We could ignore it. I could cover it. Well, we can't ignore it now, Diane. You pointed it out. That's not too obvious, is it? Oh, wait, it is. Something with that. Okay. Maybe a couple of these on here. Yeah, I don't even think the scrapbook company sends them any Halloween collections, they call them, this year. I don't know. Well, I read, this was even a year or so ago, it was some person's opinion that scrapbooking companies, they sort of did themselves in with, they would release new stuff so often, and not me so much, but people would just snatch it up and buy it, and pretty soon they had scrapbook paper coming out their ears, so they had to stop buying it. Makes sense. I don't know if that's really true. Crafting and economics at the same time. Wow, Diane. I don't think so. It's a good background paper. Put a little of that on the spider one. You want it ripped or cut that? I think ripped is okay. Okay, and I think I'm getting down to this bottom here. Let's see. I look at the bottom of the papers. I'll go off by myself and cough and do whatever I have to do. Maybe a little of that on here. I don't know, would it show up? A little. Yeah, you don't see too much of it. Yeah, down like 1/8 of an inch on each side. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Ooh, more jack-o'-lanterns. These little ones. Now, okay, leave that out. Maybe that would be useful. And some kind of silly ones. Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay. Actually, maybe on there. All right, folks. I'm going to glue this stuff down, and then we'll come back and probably add ribbon, twine, that kind of stuff. Maybe paint a little bit. I don't know. I might paint by myself so it can dry. But hang on. Okay, gang. We're up to trims. I did do a little painting. I put some purple on this one and some spattering. But it was mostly a little spattering. I didn't think it was worth filming. You've seen me spatter my arms before, right? Well, what about I have ribbon and rickrack and all that stuff. What about a little purple? That's nice. I don't think it does much for it. What about that in the hole? Yeah, okay, let's do that. Get fabric scissors. And sorry if I jarred the camera there. I think I did. All right, let's make nice ends. I always angle my ends. I think it looks a little more finished. Don't you think? Okay. And then black on the bottom. I don't know, that seems like too much. Yeah, I could have pulled the black out first. Okay, you tell me I don't have a ribbon ghost in my house. Would you look at this? What? I mean, I know ribbon will kind of unspool itself a little bit, but not like that. You're right, Diane, it's a ribbon ghost. I don't know what this is doing. I do not see black narrow ribbon. I don't believe this. All right, here's one. Oh, is this blue? That's blue. This is white. I don't know. This is ridiculous. Okay, well, I must have some somewhere. I think black narrow on the bottom that I can't locate at the moment. Okay. This one, I added this image and a little bit of down here, and then I stamped kind of on the background 'cause it was just so plain, and some cheesecloth. That's nice. I don't know that that needs a lot. Black narrow ribbon. What about an orange bow maybe at the top? I do have wider than this, but I don't know that we want wider than this in orange. All right, that's not the best bow on the planet. Yeah, that would be kind of cute. Okay, we will come back and make the best bow on the planet with that. And that might be adequate for that one. Well, this one, I was kind of thinking in lieu, oh, okay, in lieu of punching a hole, you could staple, could tie a bow. Oh, that's kind of cute. Okay, I'll make the world's second best bow with that one. This, I was kind of thinking the same thing, maybe stapling. This one I could punch a hole in. Another one I think would not have worked. I guess next time I get my ribbon box out, I'll have to do a what would you call that? You know, prepping and get all these spools back in order. That would be kind of cute too, a bow up there. Or let's use this as, you know, not kind of like a bow on the side. I did put more spatter. Yeah, I don't think I talked about this one, did I? I was too worried about the black ribbon. I put some cheesecloth on this and a few bats and a little spattering. Yeah. Okay, the world's third best bow coming up. This one I thought needed something on the bottom. The paper's a little crooked. If it was straight, that would be okay, but it's not, so it's not okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'll just glue that across the bottom. All right, this one I'm avoiding because I don't know. This one, I put another pumpkin down. I just thought it needed it. Did you see the paper behind before? Diane and her cold and being off and everything. She's confused. Oh, that's kind of neat. All right, let's just staple that on. And I admit it, sometimes I have trouble doing that. I don't know. It's me. No, it can't be me. Why would I say that? It's my stapler, but it's sort of like when you get it where you want it, but then you put the stapler in there, it moves. And it's not bad. Okay. Oh, there's a mosquito flying around. All right, hang on. Okay, well, I couldn't find the mosquito. I found more black. It's a new one. I don't remember finishing the old one off. I don't know. And now I won't need it, right? Well, that's okay. Don't see it. All right, that I'll go around and tie it on the bottom. This one, I added a little more schmutzy paint, cheesecloth. I just thought it needed something here, so I just grabbed a snippet of paper. It was an old dictionary or something. But it says on there, spell, enchant. How lucky can you get? And then this is a scrapbook paper image, but I bumped it up with a little piece of cardboard under there. Okay, so this was around. Is that enough? Yeah, I think. What do we want on the top? No, there's something about that black. I don't know if it's with the cardboard or it's way too much for this stuff. Which sounds strange. I mean, Halloween stuff is too overpowering for Halloween. I don't buy that. All right, you know what? I don't have like crochet cotton or twine here. I'll put that in that. Are you remembering all this stuff? All right, this one. I did add a lot of schmutz to this, spatters, and then some stars, and then a little, this is scrapbook paper, and that, I'm glad that worked out because it would not fit on the top, it would not fit on the bottom, over it didn't look right. I was just about to cut it apart, but it moved a little bit up. I must have bumped it. Oh, okay, let's put it up there. So that's what she did. Maybe someone was taking pity on me and was helping me out. And they got back at me now by stealing my black ribbon. Yeah, I will say it really covers, you can't read it. I'm not going to like that. Yeah, I don't like that. All right, well, you know what? There's no law that says you have to have stuff in a hole in a tag. Might want to check on that, Diane. Okay. All right, we'll put that on the bottom. Okay, this one, I don't know what I want on this. I added a little paper snippet on the side, cheesecloth, and then a little 31. It was off of this paper. Oh, a little paint. But I think it needs something. It doesn't look finished, so to speak. All right. Do we want like two things together maybe? Isn't this yarn cool? It's sparkly. There were a couple years, when I was kind of first getting into all this stuff, there were a couple, very small independent type suppliers on the internet that sold. I mean, I bought this online just like this. Reasonable prices, tons of cool stuff, vintage book pages and all this kind of stuff. Well, that place I know went out of business, and oh well. It's okay. I don't think it's great. Maybe I'll punch a hole in this one. There's ample room. Okay. I hope I remember all this stuff and find that dumb mosquito. And I will come back and let you see them finish. Hang on. Okay, the glue is not quite dry, but I think we can do a show and tell. So here's this one. I didn't do anything different. It's nice. It's that little one. It's kind of cute. This one with the world's best bow on it now. And this yarn on the bottom, I think, tidies that up, looks nice. This one is fine, and the bow on the top. This one was a tad tricky. I like the longer ends, but over this area, up and over didn't look right. You could just kind of let it hang and not tack it down. That to me was the best option. If you just want to cut it short, then you won't have that problem. And I did tack the back so it stays in place. And our tieless one, actually I kind of like that. And this one, and believe it or not, plain old ecru was the best choice. I tried a few different ones. I even had black with silver thread in it. It was kind of cool, but it was too overpowering. And then this one, which I don't think I mentioned this. I had these more together, and then this was on the bottom. I obviously changed it, and these circles are scrapbook paper. I don't know, I just thought that looked a little better. Okay, well, remember, you don't have to use these as gift tags. Art journal, junk journal, collages, just set them around, hang them around, put a bunch in a box or a dish or something for decor. You can sometimes, what I do, actually put a loop in it that'll hang and hang it off a picture frame or whatever. I think they're kind of cool, very original decor pieces. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope this video isn't kind of scattered because of there's like a 5-day gap in there. Oh well, we must press on, right? Okay, have a nice day.